Okay, so full transparency, because the last thing I want to do is lie to my hypothetical audience. It's still technically Wednesday the 3rd. It's like 11:10 p.m., something like that. But in about an hour 50 minutes ish, it'll be midnight, it'll be Thursday. So a slightly premature room talk video, a slightly premature happy 4th of July, but here's the room talk video and here's the happy 4th of July. Um my week. I'll put a pin in. Well, I mean, the whole thing is about my week, so I guess I'll take the pin out. Let me just say it like this. I I didn't have a good week. There were good things in it. There were definitely some bright spots, and there was one day in particular that I thought was fantastic. So I'm gonna talk about that shit. I'm gonna talk about the things I really liked, and then maybe I'll get into some of the not so good. Maybe I'll just be like, I don't want to talk about it. We'll see how I feel by the time I'm done. So, in terms of the good, I had a couple cool things come in. Number one, as a bit of an early birthday present to myself, as my birthday's in like a month and a half, I got a physical copy of Trails in the Sky on PSP. And it's not the first time that I've done that, because I have a copy of Trails in the Sky, the Japanese version. I have the Japanese PSP trilogy. This is the English version of FC. It's not the like super deluxe edition, because no. But this was, how much was this? It was like 115, something like that. I won't lie, like it wasn't cheap, but I was like, this is a nice birthday present for me. This is one of my favorite games of all time. It's for me, it's just a really cool shelf piece. And speaking of Trails in the Sky related shelf pieces, the Estelle figure came in, which when would pre-orders for that go live? I think that was sometime last year. Was it November? November sounds about right. It might have been a little earlier than that. Hell, maybe it was like June and it's been an entire year. But she came in and it just makes me happy. Trails in the Sky is one of my favorite games of all time. Like I say that SC in particular is my favorite game of all time. I put it in a holy trinity along with Celeste and Persona 5. So, and Estelle is my favorite character from the entire Ding Dang series. So having a physical copy of one of my favorite games and of one of my favorite characters is really cool, and that made me pretty happy. And Clay finally started playing Reverie, and I'm excited to see him play more Trails. He's like, shit, I really need to play Kuro, but I gotta play Reverie first. So I'm glad he's getting back. He's just being welcomed back with open arms into the Kaseki cult. So there's that. Worm progress has been made. I had planned on doing another video this morning, and I had a weird morning. We'll talk about that later. Like, I have to talk about this morning. It was wild. But, I have to do. Ugh, sorry, brain stop for a second. I have read arc 23. So I have 24 is the next one, and I've barely started it. I've maybe listened to a few minutes. So I new to my video on arc 22, which I have notes done for. Arc 23, I haven't written my notes for, but I think I said this when I was talking about Arc 21. I genuinely don't feel like I have that much to say. It's a pretty short arc, and it's not like it, at least for me, it didn't feel like it was super dense. And maybe it's one of those where looking back, I'm like, no, so much important fucking shit happened. And like all these characters that were introduced, like 90% of them end up becoming incredibly important. Like, I don't know. But on a first, more, not completely blind, because there's definitely worm spoilers, I know. Some of which I'm like, I really wish I didn't, but it is what it is. But on a mostly blind first go through, it didn't seem like it was the most dense, but like we'll get to it when we get to it. But I'm hoping I can do arc 22 tomorrow, and given that it's like a big arc with Alexandria, who's like a true American hero, like that's a fun 4th of July video, I suppose. Like I really want to do that tomorrow. So that's worm progress. Let's see. Oh, here's just a thing I think is really neat. Inside Out 2 has made $1 billion, and it's the first movie this year to do so, which really surprised me. Not necessarily that Inside Out 2 is doing so well because the movie is fan-fucking-tastic. I feel like it's one of those where the first movie was just a darling. Like, critics loved it, audiences loved it. And I feel like it was one of those that people were still pretty interested to go see. And I feel like because it's been so good, the word of mouth has been fantastic. I'm very happy to see it do well. No, the thing that surprised me, I was like, wait, Dune didn't make $1 billion? Like, I don't know how much it made. I just kind of assumed that Dune 2 made like $1 billion, and I guess it didn't. But, yeah, again, absolute props to Inside Out 2. I fucking love that movie. Um, let's see. Oh, yeah, Sunday. Sunday was phenomenal. Um, it was really smack dab in the middle of my, honestly, like I said, pretty shitty week so far. And just having, it's like what happened was a month ago, we were going to have a cookout by the lake like around Memorial Day, and it ended up getting canceled because the night before our cookout was the fucking tornado. So we had pushed our we pushed it back by like almost exactly a month, like give or take a few days. So me and just a bunch of my friends, we hung out, had some burgers, some dogs, some like homemade lemonade. We played frisbee. And like I had fun with it. Like I terrible at frisbee, but you know, you're playing with the boys, you're gonna have a good time. The reason I'm giggling about it is because it was laundry day, so I was wearing not my Saint shirt, but I was wearing like a black t-shirt and sweatpants, and I was running around throwing and catching a frisbee in like 90 plus degree heat. It was great. I had a blast. I was drenched. It's like I should have done laundry yesterday. This one's on me, but fuck damn it, you know, but it was fun. And then afterwards, I was just going to go home and study, and Jose and Wyatt are like, hey, we're just going to go play some fighting games. You want to come? Yeah, I feel like I kind of need this. So they were playing, I was kind of off and on watching them play Marvel 3, and while they were playing Marvel 3, I was reading a one-shot manga by Fujimoto, who you may or may not know is the mangaka behind Chainsaw Man and Fire Punch. I haven't read Fire Punch, but I'm not caught up on Chainsaw Man anymore. I was at one point. I don't remember the last chapter I read, but I wrote it down. Like Chainsaw Man, My Hero, Nana. There might have been another one. It was a One Piece. I know where I am at One Piece. I need to fucking read One Piece. But I made a note of like, okay, this is where I'm at, so I know where to like pick up again. I think it's called Look Back or Looking Back was the one shot I read. Short version without like going into spoilers, because I would highly recommend reading it. It's about a couple girls in the 4th grade who are both like both draw manga, and their friendship and rivalry and kind of the places that their talent and their passion take them into their adulthood. And I really, really liked it. Again, I don't want to go into full spoilers here. Like, it's short enough that like I would recommend just reading it, but I loved it. And then when I was done, I was like, all right, let me play some Marvel. And I had a good time. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It's like, I know who a lot of these characters are. I don't know how the fuck they play or how to use them. But I had a good time. And then after we played like a good amount of Marvel, we ended up switching over to Skullgirls. And Wyatt was just kind of like, this is y'all's game. I kind of don't want to play either of you in Skullgirls. But I played a lot of Skullgirls with Jose, and I had if you saw my PS4 game video, I'm like, I love this game. I'd missed it. I'd sincerely missed playing Skullgirls because I think it was in 2022. I played a lot of it because it was the game that got me into fighting games, and I haven't played as much fighting games as I was back in 2022. but it was specifically Peacock. Like, seeing this actual cartoon character in a fighting game was like, I have no idea how this character plays. I love this design. I love everything about her. I need to know how, like, I need to play this character's game. And the more I played, I was like, wait, this game's amazing. Like, I love the art style. I love the soundtrack. I actually think the story is like pretty interesting. I like the character designs. I like how a lot of the characters play. I have no fucking clue how to play Painwheel, but I think she's sick as hell. Um, and I was like getting really into it for a while, and I was playing other fighting games too. And then I just kind of stopped. I was like, there's other shit I need to do, like work stuff, writing stuff, other projects, and it just kind of fell to the wayside. And I honestly missed it. And then just playing with Jose for a few hours, I was like, damn, I need to do this again. And then on Monday, I ended up talking to Jose after, was it Monday? Maybe it was Tuesday. I'm sorry, like my days have like really blended together. Yes, it was Monday because I was off Monday and I worked Tuesday. Okay. And I was doing some studying and just kind of some other bullshit I had to do. And he's like, hey, when you're free, do you want to just play some Skullgirls? Like, I kind of have the itch. So we played some more, and excuse me, I had a really, really good time. What else? What the hell does that say? Sorry, half the time I can't read my own handwriting anyways. One other thing I want to say is kind of like a good thing, and then I'll get into some of the just kind of weird, interesting things that happened, is I saw a tweet earlier today from the official Ruby Twitter account, and it just said, soon. And I'm excited. It's like, I don't know what we're about to get. I don't know if we're about to see, like, Ruby confirmed for multiverses because she's been data mined, and I don't know how much. From what I understand, the data mined code was after Rooster Teeth got shut down, which makes her seem like, no, like, this is something that's still happening. I don't know, like, she could get her own trailer. She could be part of a season 2 trailer or something. I don't know. It could be info on Volume 10. Maybe we'll get confirmation that it is in production. Probably not a trailer, but maybe we'll get some kind of confirmation about it. Maybe when we get confirmation, maybe it won't be a show, which I would prefer it to be a show. I like watching Ruby. I feel like I don't think I would like it as much as in a comic. And that a lot of that is, say what you will about Ruby voice acting, I do really like it. Like, after 9 volumes, like, this is how these characters sound. It would feel weird, at least for me, it'd feel weird to read them, because I'm going to be hearing them in those voices anyways. I would just like to hear it voice acted. Also, the animation and the fights, but for me, the big thing is the music. I love Ruby music, especially the openings. The openings fucking kick ass. I remember when I was fighting Master Xehanort, I hated him. That fight was ass. But as I was doing his damn Data fight, I was like, dude, I just need to listen to Ruby music right now. I need to listen to these openings to pump me up, get my blood flowing so I can kill this old man. Which sounds really bad to say out of context. And I remember it was the season 5 opening. It was Triumph that played when I beat him. He was my last Data fight. And I was like, yes, the Triumph will be ours. It will be mine. So it wouldn't feel the same in like a comic, but I would still read it to know what's going on. Again, I hope it's a show. I hope that's what we're getting soon. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be like some interesting, cool merch. Who knows? But I'm kind of excited about that. So that's, I feel like, more or less the good. Now here's some of the weird. What night was it? I think it was Saturday, Friday, somewhere around there. I remember I was studying, and it was pretty late. It was like 9, 10 o'clock. I remember it was dark, so it had to have been after 9 o'clock. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of like criminal law and criminal procedure in my studying, so almost saying it like that makes it sound like I'm trying to give some testimony. Yeah, it was like, had to have been after 9 p.m. and this is what I was doing, which is kind of on point. I remember I was like, I need to like get some snacks, so I went to Sonic. I got some Mott sticks and a blast, and then when I came back to Clay's, there were cops outside, and I was very confused and concerned as to what was going on. But like they weren't there for anyone in our house. I don't really know what they were doing, but at one point there was like 3 different cop cars outside. I saw like 3 to 4 officers. Again, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I still don't know what the hell was going on, but okay, like that was interesting. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad. It was just that was kind of weird. We got another character design for the visual novel, and the reason this is that was weird is our artist got confused on the gender. It's like it was originally intended to be a male character, and I got the design. I was like, that's okay. That she's a woman now. I mean, I can see it. Like, I don't think the essence, I can still see the main essence of the character and who, I guess she now, like who she is in the design. And thinking about it, it's like, okay, I would have to change like him to her and he to she in the text. But aside from that, I feel like there's very little in the actual text and in the actual character that would change. I think the design actually looks really good. I was like, no, she's kind of cute. Like, I think this is kind of dope. I really love the color scheme on her. As her character she's a dog, like she's an alchemist. And there's a lot of like gray and pink and black. And like, I don't know, I think it looks super neat. I'm like, this is weird. I'm down with it. And I talked to Clay about it. He's like, yeah, like I was a little confused. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought this totally worked. And I told the artist, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of surprised because the gender is totally off, but it looks really good. And then I get an email back from the artist, which essentially amounted to, oh shit, you're right. I just checked the email. You gave me the right gender. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. Do you want me to fix it? Are we Gucci? And I was like, nah, we're Gucci. We can keep going. But again, it was like, it was weird and then it became good, but it was still just like a weird thing to happen. So this morning was some goofy shit. So I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm not working today. I'm just kind of tired. I just want to stay in bed for a little bit, just relax. Maybe look at some videos, just chill. And then Bahamut, my beloved boyo, starts walking into the room and he looks so proud of himself. You know, he's just kind of strutting up. He's got his head held high. There's a mouse in his mouth. And I see him with this mouse and I'm like, okay, so I guess he's brought one of his toys. Wait a second. Didn't mom and dad like a week or so ago say there's a mouse in the house? Sorry, I just really like that rhyme. That sounds like that would be a cartoon or something. Anyways, like I'm like, is that the mouse? Did he catch it? No, that's gotta be a toy. It's gotta be a toy, right? And then he hops on the bed and I'm just looking at this mouse and I see it from the side. I'm like, that is the most realistic toy mouse I have ever seen. That is, the detail on that thing's eyes is insane. This is, holy shit, it's actually the mouse. And then he puts it down and it just starts moving. It fucking zooms off the bed. Bahamut zooms off the bed. He starts chasing it and pretty quickly gives up. So I guess there's just a mouse in my room now, just chilling. I don't fucking know. And at that point, I'm like, well, I think I'm just awake now. So let me go take a bath because I'm not going to take a shower because in this house, just the shower's a piece of shit. I'm not going to lie. Like, trying to actually get it to work. Normally, to get a shower to work, you're like, all right, let me, like, put a pin up or down kind of thing. No, it's some janky shit you have to do with the faucet that for me never works. I'm like, I'm just going to take a bath. It's fine. So I go to take a bath, and what is waiting for me in the bathtub? It's not a mouse, but a fucking brown recluse just chilling in the bathtub. Like, I could deal with this. I just don't want to. I'm gonna end up going to Clay's to hang out anyways and get some studying done over there. Let me just go ahead and go now, and I'll take a shower when I get over there. And so I go, and then also around this time, like, I got the character design. I was like, huh? Okay, no, it's really good, but huh? Just some of the more goofiness. And then I get to Clay's, like, all right, I'm gonna go take a shower, and I'm gonna feel all clean because I've just felt dirty all day and having to drive while I'm still dirty because I'm fucking brown recluse. Let's go. And then I just step in a puddle of dog piss. Because of course one of them did. And it was just such a weird, miserable morning. Rest of the day was perfectly fine. I actually had a pretty nice day today, but like that first quarter was pretty just rough and weird. It kind of just felt emblematic of my week as a whole. So, rant a little bit. It was just a long week. A lot of stress and frustration. Part of that is studying, because that's just what happens studying for the bar. You're just like, there's a lot here, and there's a lot writing on this, and there's times you're like, it's clicking, I'm clicking, I can just go. I can write an essay, I can issue spawn an essay, I can work on a performance test, I can do all these multiple choice questions, and I'm getting them. I'm not getting everything right, but I understand. I am lawyer. And then there's other times where you're like, am I just stupid? No, I know I'm not. Am I? Because maybe there's a case here. And it's so frustrating and not healthy. And on top of that, like, the previous week was a kind of stressful week at work. Like, not crazy, but there was this one particular case I was working on. Again, like, confidentiality, I'm not gonna say anything about it. But it was like this one case, like, it's causing me some stress. But I got it done. And then last week, I was working on something, and it was like, oh, I'm just super stressed, super frustrated. And I also, like, didn't write almost all week. And there was one time when I finally sat down, I was like, I'm gonna write. I have made time to write, and just nothing was clicking. It's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this scene. I don't know. Man, I'm not okay. And that was just kind of the prevailing mental state of my week. Aside from moments here and there, was just, I'm not okay. But I know I'm going to be okay. Like, I know I'm a little frustrated with this at work, but then, like, I know next week will be better. Or, I know the bar sucks. I've taken it before. I've passed it before. It sucks. There's a reason I never wanted to do this shit again. But here I am. I know I can do this. I feel like I'm... As I was kind of talking to Clay, it's like, all right, stress and anxiety aside, I feel like I'm more or less where I need to be. in terms of like subjects studied and my general comprehension of them. There are some that are stronger than others. Like I feel like I'm really strong with like crim law and crim pro, and I feel like I know civ pro and evidence pretty well. Contracts I just haven't done in a while because that was in May. But I feel like I have a pretty good like understanding of contracts, and then for whatever reason, real property is just like my nemesis. Like I can talk to you about, like your Fifth Amendment rights of due process and double jeopardy and compelled self-incrimination, and then you talk to me about Blackacre and my brain goes, please be about joint tenancy. Because I know that. I know Pitt. Possession, interest, time, and title, because it's Pitt with 2 T's, baby. That's a right of survivorship. And if you have the unity of person with a I hated the way that sounded. You could have a tenancy by the entirety. But anyways, like, I understand the areas that I'm weaker in. So once I've really done all the subjects, I still have a few left. Like, I haven't done con law yet. I think I'm going to start that tomorrow. There's, I think, agency, partnerships, wills and trusts, corporations. I think corporations is one of them. Oh, I think that's all the subjects I have to study. I haven't looked at family law in a while. I haven't looked at secured transactions in a while either, especially because there's no multiple choice for them. So I once I've looked at everything, like, all right, which ones have I not looked at in a while to really get that refresher? Which ones do I not feel as strongly about? And even the ones where I'm strong at, what are some of the aspects that I can shore up? So I feel like that'll probably be, in particular, like, I think the next 2 weeks will be, let's make sure I have all the information. And then the last 2 weeks will be shoring up anything specific, and then the end of July we take this fucking thing and I don't have to think about it. I will, because anxiety, but I don't have to think about it until September when I get my results. I think that's really all I want to say. Good. I think that's pretty much it. So, with that being said, that was the last page of the notebook. Now, I still have my Worm 22 video to do, which has already been written in the notebook. But I need to get a new one now. And that, I don't know, I just... There's a little bit of sentimentality, but I'm like, okay, a little bit. I'm a very sentimental person. That's why I have a shelf. But, I don't know. I think that's really neat. That I can't even say over the past year, because this was September or October. I don't exactly remember, because it's Kuro 2. Kuro 2 is the first thing in here. Like, the first word in this thing is Kuro. Oh god, that was 4 hours. And then almost even longer to actually get the fucking videos spliced together. It was so ass. And I remember complaining to Clay. It's like, dude, I finished the game and it's still wasting my time. It's dog shit. But, the idea that's like, yeah, like, I've had so much shit to write about, like different games, shows, movies, books, visual novels, and Thursday videos to have filled out an entire notebook. And granted, like, there's, I think, a page or so that I kind of skipped over for just convenience sake of writing notes. But more or less an entire notebook is really neat to me. I like that. So hopefully the next notebook worth of stuff will be worth talking about. It'll be worth listening to. I make no promises, but if you've been here for any of these videos, any of the car talks / room talks, and basically anything from Kuro 2 onwards, thank you. And if you've been here from something before Kuro 2, also thank you. And if you're gonna be here after this, thank you. It's sincerely appreciated. I hope you have a good night. It's been about 30 minutes, so I think it's still Wednesday. But I hope Thursday, the 4th of July, whether you're American or otherwise, I hope it's a damn good day. I hope you have a damn good weekend as well, and month, rest of the year, life, etc., etc. Hope it's great.